Hey, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How you all doing? This is your boy Rod Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah. Today is Sunday, March 21st, 2021, first day of spring. And we have a couple of stories that we want to bring to you all that I think you all really need to be paying attention to. Pointed out a lot of the hypocrisy and stuff of that nature that's going on with the government, pointing out some things like in the last video I told you about the war on terrorism. So without any delay, we're going to get right off into it. And y'all forgive me, my Wi-Fi, I'm using my phone again to tether into this system, and it's not allowing me. So it's telling me to check my internet connection. So rather than do that, I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with it, because right now I guess I don't have enough data. So that kind of hurts, because I wanted to read the stories. But if you look in the description section of this video, you'll see the stories, well, the links for the story. You can go ahead and click on those stories. Also, if you go to the Facebook page, Real News Behind News, you'll see the stories, the articles that I posted the stories from. But also, we need you all, as you come in, please hit the like button and share these videos for us. That helps us with the analytics. Y'all give me a second. Let me try one more time to tether this. Hopefully, it will allow me to tether, and I can do a little bit better job on this. I'm kind of like frustrated. It's not even. All right, there we are. Okay, so now we should be able to go ahead and have it tethered. Y'all give me a second. Get back, child. Get back, little girl. I know. Y'all apologize for that, but I'm trying to get this thing up and tethered. All right, but anyway, here we go. First and foremost, we want to talk about something that's going on in the White House. The hypocrisy that is on display in the White House. Now, hold on. I think I got it where I can read this article for you all. No, I don't. So again, I apologize. We wanted to do this show earlier today. I know it's Sunday, and a lot of you all getting ready for your work week tomorrow. But I feel that this has to be. Y'all give me a second. All right, we got one of the stories up. Y'all give me a second. I'm just trying to get our stories together, and I think we're online now. So yeah, I can bring y'all the story. The first story we're going to talk about again is the hypocrisy that's coming out of the White House. Now, it has been recently brought to light that the White House basically had a bunch of young staffers, people working in the White House, and part of their background check, they had to disclose whether or not they have used marijuana in the past. Most of these people checked yes on the background check and said that they have used marijuana recreationally. Now, it has come out that the White House staff has either fired these people or basically put them on I guess you could say, a remote type work environment. Well, I guess they can't come into the White House, and they lose their security clearance, but they allow them to work remotely. Now, this leads us to ask the question, and again, you all go ahead and leave your comments. Please make your comments. Hit the like button and share button as you come in. But this leads us to ask, what is the White House going to do about Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States, who went on one of those late night talk shows, or one of those talk shows, I think it was the Breakfast Club or somewhere. She went on one of these talk shows, and she admitted on the talk show. Hold on a second. Excuse me. She admitted on that talk show that she was smoking weed while she was in college, listening to Tupac while she was smoking weed. First and foremost, this shows you how much of a liar your vice president is, because Tupac hadn't even released any album when she said when she was in college. So she lied about that, but she admitted to smoking marijuana. So if what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If your White House is firing all these people for telling the truth about using marijuana, why aren't they firing your vice president? See the hypocrisy in it all. This leads us. This is one story. Let me read. Let me read this story for you all. This is coming from the Daily Beast. Now, this is basically talking about how Joe Biden basically fired those people for admitting to using marijuana. But again, it's not saying anything about Kamala Harris. And I'm going to tell you why they're not going to fire Kamala Harris, which in reality, she should not be able to get top security clearance. Because again, she admitted to smoking marijuana live on television. And while at the same time, in California, in her tenure as district attorney in San Francisco and the state district attorney, she was prosecuting people for smoking marijuana. But then she turned around and pretty much bragged about smoking marijuana while she was in college. Now, let me read this. Here, this is Daily Beast. Dozens of young White House staffers have been suspended, asked to resign, or placed in a remote work program due to past marijuana use. Frustrating staffers who were pleased by initial indications from Biden administration that recreational use of cannabis would not be immediately disqualified for would be personal, according to 3 people familiar to the situation. The policy has been affected staff. The policy has even affected staffers whose marijuana use was exclusive to one of the 14 states and the District of Columbia where cannabis is legal. Sources familiar to the matter also said a member of young staffers were either put on probation or canned because they revealed past marijuana use in an official document they filled out as part of the lengthy background check for a position in the Biden White House. Now, keep in mind what they said. A lot of these people lived in one of the 14 states plus the District of Columbia where marijuana use is legal. But still, they were either fired, suspended, or placed on a remote work situation for admitting this. But here's your vice president admitted this openly on a TV show, a news show. She admitted to using marijuana, which, according to this article and according to the bylaws that Biden has set up, disqualifies you from getting that top secret, that top clearance, those certain security levels of security clearance, and if nothing else, disqualifies you from the job. How come Kamala Harris is not being subject to the same treatment that these other people are being subject to? Good afternoon, Brother Lawrence. How you doing this evening? Thanks for joining. Let me continue reading out a little bit more. In some cases, staffers were informally told by transition higher up ahead of formally joining the administration that they would likely overlook some past marijuana use, only to be asked later to resign. There was one-on-one calls with individuals affected staffers rather than ex-staffers. One former White House staffer, Child, sit down. I know I know Dad gonna try to figure out something. I know. Sit down, okay? Y'all forgive me, man. I got a sick dog here. I got to try to get something for her ears. I think she got a real bad case of ear mite. Sit down, child. All right. Nothing was ever explained on the call they added, which were led by White House Director of Management and Administration, Ann Filippic. The policies were never explained. The threshold for what was excusable and what was inexcusable was never explained. In response to this news story, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki tweeted on Friday in an NBC News report from February stating that the Biden administration wouldn't automatically disqualify applicants if they admitted to past marijuana use. Paskey said that hundreds of people hired in the administration, only 5 who had started working in the White House are no longer employed as a result of this policy. Why are they no longer employed? Again, they were told that the White House was willing to overlook certain instances of marijuana use if they admitted it on their background check. These people did what was asked and admitted it. And again, a lot of those people live in states where marijuana use is legal, and they were fired. But again, your vice president, Kamala Harris, is not going to go nowhere. And I'm going to tell y'all why they're not holding her accountable. Because if nothing else, by her admitting to using marijuana publicly, she should not be able to access certain security clearance levels. Baby, I know, child. I know. Sit down. Y'all forgive me, man. My dog is shy. I gotta try to get her some medicine. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Get back. Get back. Sit down. I can't do nothing for you. Get down now. Go, go, go. Go, child. And it hurts me to see her like that. But the reason why Kamala Harris is not going to be subjected to the same rules and regulations as everybody else in the White House has to be subjected to, because Kamala Harris, I don't know if it's going to be this year, but sometime within the next year, is going to be your president of the United States. That's how I'm crazy on it. No, it's not. Did y'all see what Joe Biden? Get on now. Get on. I can't do nothing for you. Get off me. Go. Go. I'm sorry, man. It hurts me because she wants me to do something for her right now. I can't. I don't even have money to fucking buy her food. But anyway, Kamala Harris is going to be your next vice president, y'all. I mean, your next president. They're preparing the way, and Joe Biden is making it obvious about what to happen. Did y'all see what Joe Biden tripped going up those stairs? Now, that's nothing. I mean, you might say that's, serious about that, because Donald Trump tripped coming down a ramp. But Joe Biden tripped 3 times going up those stairs. Now, it's already being brought out, and everybody already know about it. We've been talking about it here on the Real News Behind the News, that Joe Biden is basically in probably past the beginning stages of Alzheimer's. Joe Biden is not mentally capable or fit for running this country. Do y'all notice now it's been almost 2 months and Joe Biden has not really come out and gave any kind of public briefing? Y'all notice this is one of the first times we never had a State of the Union address. They're not letting Joe Biden talk to the American people publicly. Now, keep in mind, he goes to private or he goes to engagements where he has to speak. But even in those engagements, he can't remember where he's at. He can't remember who he's talking to. This is why they're not allowing Joe Biden to speak publicly, because he's mentally not capable of remembering what it is he's supposed to speak about. Hey, Sister Kimberly, how you doing this evening? We're just here trying to get the people some information that I think that they should be watching over the next few weeks, because these things that we're talking about does affect our day-to-day life. Again, we don't do tabloid type stuff here. We try to give you information and bring you knowledge of things that will affect your day-to-day life. And in this situation, everybody that voted for Joe Biden actually made their vote for Kamala Harris. And right now we're talking about how Kamala Harris is about to become the president of the United States because of the mental decline in Joe Biden's, the decline in Joe Biden's mental state. This man, again, cannot remember where he's at most of the time. He cannot remember who he's talking to. This is why his handlers are not allowing him to give any public speech to the American people. Now, again, he does go on different venues where he's, going to somewhere to talk about trade. He's going somewhere to talk about this, but he's talking to a selective audience who are not allowed to ask him questions. And even then, he can't remember in most cases where he's at. So now they're setting the stage for Kamala Harris to come in and take control of the country as president. I forget which one of the amendments. I think it's the 15th Amendment, where the president is mentally, because they tried to do it to Trump, where the president is not mentally fit, they can basically recall him and basically replace him with the vice president. So we're being set up for that. And the real significance of that is that he there fell down the stairs. Exactly, Miss Kimberly. I mean, now it ain't, you can say that, well, a lot of people trip going up the stairs. No, it's a little bit different. Donald Trump, remember, he stumbled coming down a ramp. Whereas when he was coming down the ramp, he stumbled, he got back up and kept going. Joe Biden fell up the stairs 3 times, which I'm not saying that could have happened to a lot of people. But we're going back to talk more in depth about his mental state, the state where he cannot even remember who he's talking to. Couple of places. Did you see the one where he was in Houston and he was talking to some people? I forget what he was talking about, but he asked, "What am I even doing? What am I doing here?" Yes, Joe Biden is suffering the early stages of Alzheimer's. He's not mentally fit, and the Democrats knew this when they put him up there. They told, basically, due to the election fraud, they knew that he was going to win, and the agenda was to put a likable Joe in front of the American people. Get them, good evening, your brother Yashvin, how you doing? To get them to vote for him, knowing that he was mentally incompetent to run the country. And then once they voted for him, they was going to replace him with Kamala Harris. I say between now and this time next year, Kamala Harris will become the president of the United States. And you got to realize the significance of this. Now, during the presidential primary, the Democratic primary, Kamala Harris came in dead last early on, so much that she had to drop out the race. Kamala Harris, we know, it come out through what there was. Willie Brown, who was mayor of San Francisco, all these a couple of high-powered men in California politics basically admitted to having sex with her in order to further her career. Kamala Harris, as you talking about puppets, she is the ultimate puppet for the deep state. She will get in that office and continue to implement policies to take us further and further into a lot more of these illegal wars, to crack down on more and more of your civil rights, to violate your constitutional rights, which she did while she was a district attorney for the state of California. Again, going back to it, the reason, think about it, they just fired all these people in the White House over the last 4 or 5 days for admitting to using marijuana recreationally, although a lot of them lived in one of the 14 states that allow legal marijuana use. They fired these folks, even after they admitted, told the truth and admitted. Kamala Harris got on one of these, I think it was the Breakfast Club or whatever, and told everybody in the world that she smoked weed while she was in college, listening to Tupac. And Tupac was not even recording records. He was not even, didn't even have an album out yet. So she's a liar plus a weed head. How come she's not getting fired? Because they are going to put her as your president. Nobody voted for her to be president. Hell, nobody even voted for her in the primaries when she was running to be on the ballot, to be considered as a presidential candidate. Nobody voted for this woman. She was dead last in every primary to the point where she had to drop out almost a year before the Democratic nominee was announced. But she's going to be your president. Do y'all think that's fair that she gets to keep her job after admitting? Hold on, go ahead. Even after admitting to using marijuana, do you think it's fair that everybody else gets fired or suspended and placed on remote work status while Kamala Harris gets to walk away scot-free after admitting this? I don't think it's fair at all, y'all. But again, the overall objective is to get Kamala Harris as your president. Good, good. They do stuff like that, the knee-jerk reaction from the American people for knee-jerk stuff like what let's say that we're gonna show you a comment. All right, what is it? Is damn there it fell. Okay, I'm reading you all's comments. But anyway, while we are doing this, y'all, I'm gonna put this cash tag up. And y'all know I hate to do this lately. I haven't been, but I gotta try to get this puppy some medicine and get them some food, and that way I won't have to get out there. I got a little job coming up Tuesday. Y'all pray for me that they don't cancel out on me, but it'll be a nice little job opportunity for me to get caught up on this, pay this rent for 2 weeks plus buy the puppies and some food. But we really can use you all's help right now, and I'm gonna put this up there. And if you all can make a donation, but most importantly, please hit this hit the like button. Oh man, that's wrong. Let me oh man, I can't erase that. That's on the real news. I'm kind of doing a lot, got a lot going on in my mind. Y'all forgive me. Because this puppy, she's in a lot of pain, man, and it really hurts me. Let me erase this. Yeah, mind control through television, Brother Joshua. No, I don't want to do that. So, all right, but if y'all see the cash tag up there, please hit that. But most importantly, hit the share button. We need to get these views up. Also, in talking about Joe Biden and his presidency, let me see if I can find this article here. Do y'all realize that the situation on the border is very, very out of control right now? To the point, your government cannot give you but a $1,400 stimulus check. And I'm sure waiting on mine. If y'all got some stimulus, got y'all stimulus already, please help stimulate this show, The Real News Behind the News. Drop us something, because we can use it. But they gave you a $1,400 check for stimulus for the last 6-7 months, which basically equates to like $160-something a month. During this time, a lot of people lost jobs, a lot of businesses closed down. Now, they got such a crisis down on the border that the mainstream media is not talking about it. But do you know they're talking about flying family, whole illegal immigrant families, flying them to different places throughout the country, close to the Canadian border, and putting them up in hotels, while you and I are still struggling to make ends meet. They're taking your tax dollars, bringing in families of illegal immigrants. Hey, Brother Hadnot, how you doing? How you doing this evening? We just talking a little bit, man, just briefly getting y'all heads up on some stories that we think you all should be paying attention to over the next few days, because it's finna really it's really crazy. Like right now, we're talking about the chaos on the border, where you got all these immigrants, illegal immigrants, entering into the country. They got those same cages, y'all. Remember when everybody was talking about Barack Obama and these cages? I mean, Donald Trump keeping these kids in cages, and they come to find out it was Obama who started it. Donald Trump continued it, and it's continuing under Joe Biden. They got one camp of so nasty, so filthy, and so overcrowded, they got a serious COVID outbreak in that detention center. Now, black folks, I want to say this first and foremost. When it comes to illegal immigration, That is not our fight. Excuse my language, not to be sound harsh, but fuck them folks. For real. Because really, they are being brought here to be the new niggas, especially with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is bringing these people here, and now they're even talking about giving them Social Security benefits. Social Security benefits. Yeah, these immigrants are the new niggas because they're bringing them here hoping that they will help increase the Democratic voting bloc. We have nothing in common with these people because they are replacing us on a lot of the jobs that we would otherwise get. And as far as every American, do you realize that allowing all these illegal immigrants into the country drives the wages down in this country? Whereas jobs that was $20 an hour 10 years ago are now probably $8 and $9 an hour because these people are willing to come over here and work for dirt cheap. Black people, this is not our fight. Because think about this, out of all these people who are coming here voluntarily, illegally crossing the border, making all this money, black people, we were the only people that came here against our will and involuntarily worked for free in them hot ass fields, picking cotton and sugar cane. This is not our fight because those same people that you get out here and champion talking about they deserve a better life, fuck that. For real. When you and I are still getting shot down in the middle of the streets by the police. Did you see what happened in Florida to the black spring breakers that was out there in Florida? Yeah. We're the only ones who still are getting totally discriminated against in housing law, in our education. These people are coming over here getting way better treatment as illegal immigrants than we have in 400 years. And these same people that you champion would not piss on you to put you out if you was on fire. They don't like us. But you got black people sitting up there championing these illegal immigrants as if they gonna love you and hug you. How many of these illegal immigrants do you see running around here talking about Black Lives Matter? None of them. How many of these illegal immigrants do you hear talking about reparations for the cruel and inhumane treatment that our forefathers and ancestors received during slavery? They don't give a fuck about that because they were not slaves. They didn't come here as slaves. We're the only people to come here against our will, forced to work in these hot ass fields. And here we are now talking about, I think they deserve a better life. No, they are brought here to replace you. They are the new niggas, literally. But they ain't gonna have to go through what we went through. And again, this is not meant to be derogatory against people coming from other countries. Do the shit the right way. Go through a legal port of entry, file for asylum, whatever you have to do. But when you cross that border illegally, and then they're willing to take my tax dollars, your tax dollars, and fly entire families up north, then put them in hotel rooms while they're waiting for their asylum or whatever, while they're waiting to be processed at your and my and yours and my expenses as taxpayers, we all should have a problem with that, black and white. We all should have a problem with that. Literally, our system cannot really take care of those of us who are American citizens and who are coming here legally. We can't even sustain that. And you bringing tens of thousands upon thousands upon tens of thousands of these people in here, scattering them throughout the country, flying them to who knows where in the country, and putting them in hotel rooms inside the country, and we, the taxpayers, are paying for that. We all should have a problem with that. But the media will make it seem like you're a villain if you disagree and you don't have a problem with that. Who the hell? If you got a household and you and your family barely are making it Every week by week, you less than one paycheck away from being homeless. You barely can pay the rent. And when you pay the rent, you got to decide this week, do I pay the electric bill or do I pay to buy groceries? You have to make these type of decisions, whereas these people come over here illegally, getting food stamps, getting free health care. Believe it or not, they get free health care when we don't. They're getting all the benefits that some of us cannot get here as legal citizens. Now, if you have to make those decisions, would you allow your cousin and his wife and 3 kids to come in and move in with you, knowing that they don't have means to support themselves? Hell no, you wouldn't do it, because what's going to happen? Your home is going to suffer. Your kids are going to suffer. And that's what's happening with this illegal border situation. But notice, when Donald Trump continued the Obama policy of putting these children and these people in these detention centers in cages, the media showed you, I mean, they had everybody wanting to go and just go off and ride on the ICE agents, ride on anybody who said anything that was true about these people. I mean, they deserve what they get. They don't need to come here. Think about this. You think you can go down in Mexico illegally? You think you can get into China or some of these other places that these people are coming from? You think that you can go just walk into their country illegally and there'll be no repercussions? Heck no. But they're allowed to come here, and taxpayers have to pay for their detention. But it's so many of them right now that the detention camps are overflowing, so they're taking your tax dollars. When they can only give you $1,400 for a stimulus, they're taking your tax money, flying these people to various places throughout the country and paying for them, whole families now, to live in hotels, while you and I really need a whole nother $1,400 stimulus. Again, I'm waiting on mine like a motherfucker, man, because I can use that to actually move out this place. So if y'all got a stimulus, please help us with the Real News Behind News. Stimulate our economy here at the Real News Behind News so we can continue to bring these shows to you. But right now, I need to get these dogs some food and get her some medicine. Her ears are killing her, man. Y'all might hear in the background whining. And me it's like that's my baby, man. That's like a child of me, man. And it hurts me to know I can't even help her. But anyway. So y'all need to be paying attention to that also. Also, we're going to talk about this. Remember we talked about the war on terrorism in the last video? Well, it's coming out that the United States is setting up trying to broker a peace deal. Now, they have a peace agreement. They have an agreement with the country of Afghanistan. They're supposed to have all the troops, American troops, out of Afghanistan by May 1st. Remember, Trump was trying to pull the troops out, but the military-industrial complex didn't want that. Well, here it is. Now that Trump gave orders for the withdrawal of a lot of those troops, pretty much the complete withdrawal for the American military out of Afghanistan, Joe Biden came in office not even a week after he was in office. Like, wait a minute, hold up, we still need to be there. But the Taliban is now telling us that if you all are not out of here by May 1st, it's going to be some trouble. We're going to read this story for y'all real briefly, and we're not going to hold y'all too long. But this is coming from Zero Hedge, and this is all over the news, but I find this site to be a little bit credible. Y'all give me a second. Okay, she went to sleep. She fell asleep now. All right, this is coming from Zero Hedge. Taliban warns of reaction if U.S. stays in Afghanistan beyond May 1st. Now, remember, according to this peace treaty that they signed, the United States supposed to have all their troops withdrawn by May 1st. That's only 2 months from now. All right. The Taliban warned the U.S. on Friday that there would be a reaction if President Biden failed to withdraw from Afghanistan by the May 1st deadline set by the U.S. Taliban peace deal signed in Doha last year. The comments were made from Moscow, where the warring sides met to discuss the peace process. They should go. said Sule al-Shaheen, a member of the Taliban's negotiating team, he warned if the United States stayed beyond May 1st, it would be a violation of the Doha Agreement. After that, it would be kind of a violation of the agreement. This violation would not be made from our side. Their violation will have a reaction, Shaheen said. Shaheen also called for an expedited peace negotiation. It is important that the negotiations should be expedited because it will help us to achieve a permanent ceasefire and countrywide peace. And this is our goal, he said. As we talked with Afghan politicians, they also insisted that the process should be expedited. Shaheen's comments came after a report from NBC News said President Biden is considered staying in Afghanistan in November. Sources told NBC that Biden was pushing back against the Pentagon's effort to stay in Afghanistan, but was convinced to consider extending the withdrawal deadline to November, although no decisions have been made yet. Now, again, here we are. Everybody knows that you don't make no kind of treaty or sign papers with the United States government. The Indians will tell you, the Native Americans will tell you that, I mean, right off the top. Every time we sign a treaty, it's just a fucking piece. Our government look at me, fuck it, it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything. And they always violated their treaties. Our government is basically one person that you don't want to buy a used car from, because everything that they told you that you could do if this car go wrong, you can bring it back. They're gonna be like, fuck it, it's just a piece of paper. It really doesn't hold up in court. So here you are. Just last year, the United States signed an agreement to have all our troops withdrawn from Afghanistan by May 1st. Now here you are. Listen what he said. The Pentagon is pushing Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is saying, well, fuck what we said on paper, fuck our commitment and the word that we gave. We're thinking about extending it to November. But the Taliban saying, all right, try it if you want to. If you're not going by the 1st of May, which is the agreed upon deadline, there's going to be trouble. And our country is like, fuck it, what you gonna do? This is very important to us because a lot of you all have kids over in Afghanistan right now serving in that military, in our military. You see what I'm saying? Who doesn't sound like all the terrorists? The Taliban for wanting the United States out of their country, or the United States saying, fuck it, we're gonna stay in your country, regardless of what we told you in this peace deal. We're gonna stay in your country. Who doesn't sound like are the real terrorists, y'all? The Taliban of the United States, the Afghanistan people who really all they want is their country back. They want peace and security and not having to be fearful of drone strikes from overhead, killing their kids, their women, their children. Who doesn't sound like other terrorists? So this is going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out, because again, the Taliban is saying that we need y'all to honor your agreement, leave our country by May 1st. But the Pentagon has put Joe Biden out there and speaking through his mouth. They got their hand up his ass and open his mouth. You know how they do a puppet? They put their hand up their ass and open their mouth. The Pentagon has Joe Biden saying, "No, fuck that. We think we know we signed the treaty to be gone by May 1st, but we think we're gonna stay till November." And then if the Taliban acts upon what they just said, it's gonna be repercussions. Guess what's gonna be all on the nightly news? The Taliban has conducted another act of terrorism. Now we know we gotta stay in their country. You see how they play the game? Do y'all see how they play the game? They signed the peace treaty last year, and according to that peace treaty that they signed, our troops are supposed to have a full withdrawal from the country of Afghanistan by May 1st. And our government said, fuck it, we thinking about staying in November. It's just like one of your relatives coming to your house, eating up all your food, beating your children, beating you, raping your wives, stealing all your bank account information, doing all this, and you tell them you got to go, and they say, well, look, man, I tell you what, give me to the first of next month when I I both have a check coming, I'll move. And then as the first of the next month rolls around, they were like, well, now fuck it, man. Kind of like it here because you got a lot of food I can steal. I like raping your wife. I like kicking your kids and beating them up. I think I'm going to stay for another 8-9 months. What would you do if you had a house guest like that, an uninvited house guest, to just come in and take over your house and tell you that they're not going nowhere? What would you do? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And if the Afghanistan people, the Taliban, literally rise up and make good on their promise that there's going to be consequences, who you going to believe? The Taliban and the Afghan people for saying you violated this treaty, you deserve what happens? Or you going to believe the mainstream media telling you that an unprovoked act of terrorism was just committed by the Taliban against United States soldiers? See, when this does happen, you all who are watching this show right now and who subscribe to this channel, you're not going to be deceived because you're going to know why what happened. But the rest of the world who wants to be entertained watching these fake reality TV shows, watching sports, or listening to all this mindless music and entertainment, constantly on social media, getting the government narrative, because again, like I mentioned earlier in another video, your Facebook, your Google, even your YouTube are government-sponsored psychological operations designed to dumb you down. They will not allow, in a lot of cases, real truth or serious questions to be put out there because that goes counter to the narrative that they're trying to control your mind with. Just like Brother Joshua said, mind control through media, entertainment, your smartphone. And I was going to talk about this in another video. I'm going to talk about it now. Let me ask y'all a question. You got really two basic phone operating systems here in America. You have either Android or you have iPhone, iOS operating system. Let me ask y'all a question. Why do you think they call this an Android? Please, somebody answer that in the comments. Let's see if anybody's going to answer that. Please, we need you all comments. Also, we also need you all to hit that like button for us and share these videos for us. But let's ask a question. I'm asking a serious question. Why do they call it an Android? You know, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. You know why they call this an Android, y'all? Because it is nothing more than a robot. Your phone is a robot designed to replace your ability to think with you depending on it for every answer. Again, this is why we're having so much killing, especially in the black neighborhood, because we are no longer, as American citizens, pretty much citizens around the world, who depend on their cell phone and other, I guess you could say, smart devices. We're depending on it to think for us, whereas now we can no longer form a thought process. We can no longer literally form the logical thinking process because we're used to just now talking into our phone, asking a question, and immediately getting the answer without having to do the research. And 9 times out of 10, the answers that you're getting, especially on Google, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, when you ask questions, you're getting a government-sponsored narrative. You're not getting the real answer. You're getting what they want you to think. This is very, very serious. We're going to have to do a show specifically on that. The fact that we're living in a society that cannot think on their own anymore. Us adults are wondering why our kids are so rebellious, why they're, you have this generation of 31-year-old grandmother. And that's because we're so caught up in this mindless entertainment that we don't think before we commit a lot of these actions that we do. So again, now that again the United States signed this peace agreement, they're going to violate their own treaty, their own. They're going to go back on their word because again they're supposed to have all our troops withdrawn from Afghanistan by May 1st. But here you are right now. Biden said, I don't think we're going to make the May 1st deadline. So we're going to look forward to just having our troops out of there by November. And the Taliban is saying, try that shit if you want. If you're not going by May 1st, there's going to be consequences and repercussions. And our government's like, fuck it, what you going to do? Y'all, please hit that like button and share button for us while we go and do this last story. Now, this story is kind of a fringe issue, but you have a man in District of Columbia whose 14-year-old daughter is dead set on having gender reassignment. She wants to become a boy. Now, despite the father saying, well, this is my daughter, I don't think at 14 she really understands what she's trying to do and the repercussions. But a court in British Columbia said, we don't give a fuck what you think, Pop. If she wants to become a boy, she can become a boy. We see that every day here in America. Now, this dude has been arrested because he violated a court order. You know what the court order was telling him? You got to stop calling your daughter her or she. Is now he. And the father's like, man, I don't give a fuck what they do to her, how much testosterone they give her. I don't care what they do to her. Her DNA, her genetic makeup is that of a female. She has a female chromosome. Nothing you can do to her physically is going to alter the fact that physically, spiritually, she was born a female. Do you know they arrested this man because he refused to call his daughter him or he? It's all over in America, but they don't tell you about this. It's getting to the point now where your children have more rights than you have over them as parents. This is another reason why our children are so unruly right now, because you have government interference in the lives of parents. Think about this. When they took discipline away from the parents, then you started seeing chaos and anarchy and all this rowdiness in our children because they know there's no consequence. Parents can't hold them accountable. But in some cases now, they want to hold parents accountable for the actions of their unruly ass children. The same unruly children, they will not allow the parents to discipline. Do you know in California, it's basically they have created laws where they have pronouns that you are not supposed to use anymore. If you're born a man and you're born with a penis, you are a boy damer. Yes. No matter what they do to you to alter your physical appearance, you still have the chromosomes of a man. If you was born with a vagina, you are a woman. Nothing they can do to you physically can alter your chromosome, which make you a woman. We living in a crazy time, y'all. We live in a crazy world, crazy, crazy society. But I thank God for blessing me with this real news behind the news. And even though we're slowly gaining momentum, we are trying to be a voice of reason in this mad, mad world that we're living in. I'm not right all the time, but I can say at least 75 to 85% of the time, I'm right in the fact that I'm asking questions that are relevant, questions that we all need to be asking. The powers that be would rather you just sit down, shut up, and just go along with the program. If you happen to disagree in any way, they're going to label you as a troublemaker, a conspiracy theorist, someone who's a detriment to the unity of our society. No, you have a right to ask questions. It is your God-given duty to ask questions of those people who make laws that affect your day-to-day life. If you just go along and get along or agree with anything and everything that they say, guess what? You are nothing more than a willing slave. Literally. See, we got a comment. I can't pull that up right now. Y'all give me a second. Let me see what this is. Just 1 second. But again, y'all, we're not going to hold you all. And man, I keep seeing people putting this stuff up on my YouTube channel. Well, this is certain type of comment. I'm just go ahead and block y'all. It's like they'll go like at 0.17, something like that. I don't know if it's porno or what. I have not ever clicked on it, but I'm in the habit lately of just blocking that person, period. If your comments are not legitimate, I mean, when I say legitimate, you're actually talking to us, having dialogue. But if you just put a link to something up there and I don't know what it is, I'm not only going to erase it, but I'm going to block that person. You know, that's just fair warning, man. You know, it's nothing. It is what it is, man. You know, I don't even click on these links because that's how you get your computers and your smart devices infected with malware or viruses or whatever. But yeah, I noticed a lot of people have been doing that, and I'm you know, I'm at the point now I'm just letting it be publicly known that I'm blocking these comments. But anyway, y'all, I'm not gonna hold you all up. This puppy is in a lot of pain, man. And it hurts my heart to see her like that, and I'm not able to do nothing for her. So again, we need you all's prayers. Also, we put the Cash App up there. Y'all see it in there, man. Again, I ain't finna just keep asking. It does get to a point where it feel like, you know, you ask people for support. People say they support you, but it's mostly in word. You know, I mean, which I could use the encouragement, but hell, sometimes we need financial support to make this channel run. Because what little cash I can come up with, man, has to go to being able to pay for this cell phone bill, to pay for the extra internet every month that comes along with the phone, to pay for this room, pay for rent, pay for food. While I'm having so much time struggle getting out there to try to take care of this, this is why I can't really be as consistent as I would like with our shows. So when we ask, it's porno, yeah, had not son. That's why I don't even click on it. I just block that person, period. I report them and block them. And I'm not no Facebook snitch. But come on, man. I mean, these same people never comment or anything, you know, constructive when it comes to creating constructive dialogue. But I see them posting this here, I'm reporting them. If they want to do something, let them hit the Cash App. Please. I'm asking y'all, we need that help. Because this little girl, man, I don't know. It's like she's been throwing up. She's very incoherent. She's scratching her ear to it, bleeding. I know it's ear mites. Think she possibly might have worms. That's money that I really don't have because right now I got to come up with food. You know, we've been blessed. Well, we were able to take care of the rent. Well, we set till Tuesday on the rent, but again, there goes food. So when in the time that I could be doing dedicated to this show, man, I have to get out and you know, try to take care of these things, you know, until the economy gets to a better place such that I can get back to work like I normally would. So again, we ask that y'all hit the like button, hit the share button, tell all your family and friends about us. Most importantly, though, make sure you continue to be subscribed by making sure that you will hit that bell. Every time you come to our channel, make sure you hit that bell because, again, we have problems with our subscribers being unsubscribed. You see what I'm saying? So please, we got the link for the PayPal and Cash App, man. Anything right now that could be donated will literally help me because I got to get this puppy something for her ear, man. If y'all see her ears so red, you know. I tried a home remedy. That does not seem to be working at all. And right now she's doing shit that's uncharacteristic. You know, she's in a lot of pain. So if y'all can help us with that, plus they need another 30, 40 pound bag of food. So again, I just go to my subscribers. I go to the people who say that they support us. Please, if you support us, we can use that support right now. But we're not going to hold y'all up. We just did this show. We're going to be doing another show tomorrow. So until y'all see us tomorrow on another show, please share these videos. Hit that like button. Tell everybody about this show because we asking the relevant questions. We giving y'all information today that in a lot of cases, you would not even see the propaganda on the news for weeks or even months. Those people who subscribe to this channel are way ahead of the time, man. You're way ahead of the curve because we're giving you information that you're not going to get anywhere else, especially in the Black community. You got a lot of Black YouTubers, bloggers, or whatever, so-called journalists that give you tabloid type information, or they continue to further perpetuate the propaganda that's given to them by the mainstream media. But here at the Real News Behind News, we think for ourselves. And if nothing else, we ask the most relevant questions that a person could ask. So again, we can use y'all support financially, we can use y'all prayer spiritually, we can use any help that you all can give us, whether it be sharing and liking these videos, would help us get more and more subscribers. But we do need you all support. So until y'all see me tomorrow, man, I hope y'all have a wonderfully blessed and prosperous night and a wonderfully blessed and prosperous day tomorrow. And we will be back tomorrow bringing y'all the real news behind the news. Y'all be blessed.